Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Janae of Janaeum.com. I go by the Millennial Money Minister. My official title is Financial Consultant, and I teach first-generation grads how to manage their money so they can save more, get out of debt, and build wealth. So I am broadcasting live on Facebook as well as YouTube in case you see my eyes shifting, and I also have my notes right here. So as you're coming in, say hello. Let me know where you're joining from, and I would appreciate it if you shared this. I have several videos that I've done. They're all on YouTube, but only a portion of them I've actually done them live here on Facebook. This is National Home Ownership Month, and so all throughout the month I've been sharing information from the course I created called The Blueprint, Buying a Home and Building Wealth with Real Estate, to help people prepare for the home ownership process. So as a financial professional, I focus very heavily on how to get your finances in order, from getting on a budget, how to determine what type of home is affordable, even if where you're currently living is affordable, being able to provide some guidance on that, what type of mindset you need to have to be prepared to take on the responsibility of home ownership, because it is a responsibility. So that way you can get a feel for what will be required of you before you sign on the dotted line, because when you do, you're locked in for that 15 or 30 years. And if you try to sell your home within the first 5 years, you're going to lose out on your investment, because it takes time to build equity in your home. So, hey, Mickey. So if you have questions, post them in the comments. If you know someone who, wants to purchase a home, this course is great for first-time home buyers, because if you're buying a home for the second or third time, most likely life happened to you, and so you don't have as much wiggle room to do some of the steps that I talk about in my course. You can still benefit from it, but it's ideal for somebody who is in their early to mid-career. They're making great money, they landed a good job out of college, and they simply just don't know what to do with their money. These are things I wish I had when I graduated from college, because I shared how I saved $500 a month for 3.5 years before I bought my home, because I was working in corporate. I didn't have no bills for real. But I wish I would have known about accelerating paying off debt, because I could have paid off my student loans at the same time I was saving that $500. So I made sure that I designed this course with that individual in mind, because even though it's not where you start, it's how you finish. I prefer to teach people how they can give themselves a head start. And when you come out of college, you can definitely do that if you have the right information. You can do a lot with the right information. So today and this week, we're talking about the pre-approval process. Today we're dealing with how to show proof of income. And so if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them live. Just drop them in the comments. And if you know somebody, again, who is in the process of wanting to buy a home, you can share this video with them or tag them in the comments. Also, if you're in the Richmond, Virginia area, I'm starting my workshop series July 10th, and it's going to be every other Tuesday. The kickoff is actually tomorrow evening, and so you can find out more about that at on my website, Janaeum.com, on the workshops tab. So these workshops is basically going to meet people exactly where they are and start them from the basics of how to create a budget, how to get out of debt, and then we'll graduate them through topics. We'll talk about insurance and the different types. We'll talk about retirement planning. We'll talk about estate planning. We'll talk about long-term care. wealth preservation, asset accumulation. So it's 4 workshops. I've broken them, each of them, out into 2. So it'll be a total of 8. So that way you can have all the information that you need to know that will literally carry you the next 40 to 60 years of your life. So again, 8 workshops, but all of the information is tailored towards where you are now, and I'll grow you through the topics, but this is information that you can start putting in place now, and by you putting in the work now, it's going to help you for the next 40 to 60 years of your life. So it's just that powerful, and it's completely free. But you want to go to jeneem.com/workshops, or go to my website, jeneem.com. Click on the workshops tab to register, because you do need to register. So the kickoff is tomorrow evening at 7:30, and then the actual workshop series starts on July 10th and every other Tuesday. So today we're talking about how to show proof of income when you're going to buy a home. And this week we're dealing with the pre-approval process. So what pre-approval is, we talked about pre-qualification and getting pre-qualified 2 weeks ago. This week we're talking about pre-approval. So the difference between the two is, to get pre-qualified, that's an estimate. To get pre-approved, that means that the bank, the lender, has been basically all up in your business, and they've seen actual documentation to support the things you told them, and they're giving you an actual number of how much money that they will lend you so that you can purchase a home. And so with the pre-approval process, there's certain pieces of information that you need to provide in order for the banks to be able to give you that information. And so proof of income is one of them. Now, the way that you can show proof of income is to provide your bank statements. Usually the lender will ask for 90 days worth of bank statements for all of your accounts. So, think about your savings, your checking, and if you have them with different institutions, they'll most likely want bank statements for all of them, because proof of funds is important. And especially if you're using your own money for a down payment, they need an actual record to show that you can give them the money you say that you're going to give them, or you desire to give them, for your down payment. So first thing with proof of income is having your bank statement. So the last 90 days usually is what they'll ask for, and so you want to be prepared for that. Now, getting your bank statements, if you don't get them in the mail anymore, some people still do. I know I don't. I opted into online statements. You can simply log into your online banking portal, and you can access your statements that way and simply download them and print them off. And so you want to keep a folder with all of this information, so that way you can provide it at the blink of an eye. Also, in addition to your bank statements, you also need tax returns, and you'll need at least 2 years worth of tax return. Why do they ask you for your tax returns? Because when you sit down to do your taxes, what do you have? You have your W-2, and you have all of the proof of documents that you're using in terms of deduction. So that gives the lender an idea of what you're spending, especially if you think about student loans. You get a portion of that interest back, and so having that information, it'll show what was actually paid. And so having that information on record, how much student loans you paid, what you got back in interest, is helpful for the bank to know, because you may tell them you're paying one thing for your student loans, but the actual paperwork shows them what you're actually paying. So there needs to be proof, there needs to be written documentation that what you're saying is actually accurate and correct. And so your tax returns is a way for the bank or the lender to be able to get concrete evidence to support the things that you're saying and telling them. because when they go and to submit your application and it goes through what's called the underwriting process, they're doing research and, you know, digging up things on you to make sure that the information you provided actually corroborates with what is actually on file with these institutions that you work with, that you have your money with, that you make payments to, because at the end of the day, they're giving you a lot of money and they need to know that who they're giving their money to will actually pay them back and actually is equipped and has the ability to make their payments. So that's why tax returns are a great way to do that. And I'll just caution people who have side hustles, like, I get it, but you cannot claim that as part of your income if you're not paying taxes on it. Why? Because if you try to inflate how much you make by incorporating your full-time job or your business with, you know, what you're doing on the side, then if you don't have documentation to support that in the form of a tax return, then there's no way to prove there's no way to prove that you're actually making the money that you say you are. So if you have a lucrative side hustle that's bringing in a substantial amount of money in your household, you need to be paying taxes on it. I have my degree in accounting. I'm not a CPA, but I do have my degree in accounting, and so that is my background. And by law, if you are making over, I believe it's $400 in a trade, then you need to report that information to the IRS and you need to pay taxes on it. And so especially if you have a business that provides a substantial amount of your income, you should be paying taxes on it, so that way you can have this paperwork to support the money that you're making, so you can say, yes, you know, I have a full-time job or I have a business, but I also have, you know, multiple businesses as well. And this is the paperwork that I have to support the money that I'm making. So what I'm telling you is not just hearsay, it's not just, you know, what I personally know, but it's actually documented. Because at the end of the day, when your loan application is submitted, there needs to be paperwork, not just a written statement or a verbal statement. They can't use that. So they need actual documentation, and tax returns are the easiest way to do that. Now, again, going back to the side hustle conversation, if it is lucrative, then just make the investment to get the LLC if you don't already have one. You know, hire a CPA and an attorney to help you with your business formation, and work with a CPA to make sure you're taking care of your accounting and all those things. So that way you'll have all the records that you need in order to file taxes at the end of the year. It's a worthy investment, especially if you're making a substantial amount of money from it. And when you go to purchase your home, you don't have to worry about the headache of trying to do these things at the last minute, so you can prove to the bank that you can afford the type of house that you actually want. So that is, yeah. So I actually have a tax story. I'm not going to share it, you know, on here because this is public information and I'm not going to share my, my family's private stuff. But I do have a sad, but I don't know if it's funny. It's sad. It's kind of like shake your head sad. So it's not like boo-hoo sad, but it's like shake your head sad. But it's about my dad, because that man is a straight hustler. It's about him and taxes. You cannot. There are ways that, like, I know certain banks have programs where they can build a credit profile for you without you having credit, but you'll still need to provide evidence that you made payments So whether it was for furniture or for rent, they can build a credit profile for you based on that. But that's with credit. Now, in terms of income, you need to file your tax returns. You need to. And you can file for previous years, even in the current year. I know people in this area that, work with people that need to file 2015, 2016, 2017 to get them caught up. So you can do that. And I would highly encourage that, because when you're not going by the system, you have less options available to you. Like, not all banks may have that option where they can build a credit profile for you. Again, that's just the credit side of it. The income side is, because at the end of the day, the banks want their money. So I would suggest that you get taxes filed for previous years, at one time, however long it takes, because once it's done, you're caught up. And that way you have that information that you can now put on file for when you go to get pre-approved for a mortgage. But yeah, I would not skip that. Because it helps your business too. Having those records lets you know, it helps you analyze the profitability of your business. And if you want your business to be sustainable, you need to analyze your records. And so, yeah, I would encourage, even if you got to start with 2012, like just start that process, get caught up, and it'll make you feel better as a business owner too. Yeah, because it's like a weight lifted off your shoulder because it's done. So if you're just tuning in, you'll have to catch the replay. But I will post it on my Facebook business page, and I will leave this up. So if you are just tuning in, you can catch the replay on what you can provide to the bank or the lender as proof of income when you go to get pre-approved for a home. That's an actual amount of money that they will give you to buy a home, versus with getting pre-qualified is just an estimate. So these are hard numbers. And so this week we'll be talking about all the things that you'll need in order to move forward with the pre-approval process. And so these are things that you want to have in place before you go to the bank, because if you go to the bank without these things, they'll make you go away and come back. And so this is a way you can kind of get ahead of the curve. So this is all to help you. Awesome. I'm glad you enjoyed it. This is all to help you with purchasing a home. So if you are someone who's looking to purchase a home for the first time and you're not quite sure what you need to be doing, I designed my course, The Blueprint, to provide a step-by-step guide, so that way you can get your finances in order, and basically start from the very beginning. Start with the basic fundamentals, and build you up, so that way you can have everything that you need, be in the right mindset and mind frame to take on the responsibility of owning a home, and do it in the right way where it can actually be an asset in your portfolio versus a liability, because there is a difference. So you can find out more about that. The link is attached to this video, and if you're on YouTube, it is in the description of the video. So if you're catching the video on YouTube, make sure that you subscribe so you don't miss any other updates. And those of you here on Facebook, if you have comments or questions, even after watching the video, just post them down below. I will see them. I will respond to them. And if you know someone, again, who is in the process of buying a home for the first time, and they need the information, because everyone doesn't know everything, so you can tag them in the comments or share this with them. I know that they would greatly appreciate it. I'm confident they'll learn something, and I would appreciate it as well. And again, if you're in the Richmond, Virginia area, I am teaching a workshop series that starts people from the basics to help them with budgeting and grows them up to getting them ready for retirement. And so you can find out more about that at janaem.com/workshops. And so if you just literally go to my website and click on the workshops tab. You'll see both of the photos for the kickoff tomorrow and then the actual workshop series. You can click on the photo. You'll be directed to Eventbrite to register. So janaeum.com/workshops, and you can register there. So that's all I have. I'll be back on, because again, this is the last week for National Homeownership Month. And so I'll be back again tomorrow, sharing more information about the pre-approval process. So thank you all for tuning in. I'm glad you got something out of it. And I hope to catch you on the next one. And hopefully those of you who are watching or catching this on the replay can participate in the workshop tomorrow and register. So thank you all again for tuning in, and I'll catch you all next time. Bye.